Hi everyone, my name is Ashanti and welcome to Uniquely Ashanti's Corner. And as some of you are aware, I previously posted a video called How to Deal with Sexual Temptation. And if you have not seen that video, I will provide a link down in the description box so you can go check it out. Anyway, one of my viewers, whose screen name is Virtue Within, suggested that I should also talk about reasons why a person should wait to have sex, which I thought was a really great idea because, after all, I'm sure there are some people out there who are out there saying, we keep hearing about the importance of remaining celibate, but I don't understand what exactly is the big deal. So I thank you, Virtue Within, for the suggestion and for your support of my channel. Now, to deal with this topic, I decided to go down a list that I created. And please be aware that I'm going to be touching on this from a Christian perspective. So if you are not interested in hearing about Christianity, then this is a video that is not for you. So without further ado, let's get started. Number one, you are able to avoid unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases and infections. So I know that this is a reason that is obvious for the majority of you guys tuning in right now, but I figured that I might as well get the obvious out there right now as number one. And I know a lot of people be saying that they have protection, but you know what? Protection fails a lot of times, believe it or not. And the best way to avoid all of this is to just not have sex. And if you're not already aware of sexually transmitted diseases and infections, I encourage you to do your research online. You can find tons of information there. Number two, it makes communication much stronger. A lot of people believe that in order to grow closer to their boyfriend or their girlfriend, then they have to have sex, or as some people like to call it, taking it to the next level. This is what society is constantly trying to teach us all the time. Abstaining from sex forces you to get to know someone so much more. You're sharing your views on different topics, talking about life experiences, and you'll find that your conversations are so much deeper. You know, by engaging in sex before marriage, it conflicts with you truly getting to know someone. How can a relationship grow if the only thing that you and the other person have in common is just the sex? That's not even a real relationship if you sit down and really think about it. A real relationship. What am I saying? Relationship. That's not even a word. Anyway, a real relationship takes hard work. And if you truly care about the other person, you should be willing to put in the proper amount of time and effort, excuse me, to make it work without bringing sex into the picture. I don't care what anyone has to say. There is a such thing as having a close relationship with someone without having sex. Number three, God commands it. In the Bible, God specifically tells us that sex is something that He intended for a husband and a wife to experience. And if you don't believe me, I am going to list some verses in the description box so you can go see for yourself. And I strongly recommend that you go and look at the King James Version, okay? By indulging in your own desires without listening to what God says damages your relationship with Him. If God commands us to not do something, we're not supposed to do it. There are no loopholes or anything that gives us permission to ignore the guidelines our Heavenly Father has already permanently set for us. When God created sex, He knew that it was a strong form of intimacy. And that's why He decided to save it for a husband and wife to experience together. There is nothing special about having sex with multiple partners. All you're doing is giving in to the temptation of the flesh continuously. Number 4, you can avoid heartbreak. How many times have you guys heard of this scenario? A young virgin girl meets a guy that she really likes. He gives her a lot of attention and makes her feel like that she's just the most special person in his life. And then within a few weeks or months, he suggests that they should have sex because he just loves her oh so much and wants to express that love to her. The young girl loses her virginity to him, later finds out that she's going to have a baby, and then she tells the guy she loves that she's pregnant, only to have her heart torn to a million pieces because he doesn't want to deal with the responsibilities. I am very sure that this sounds very familiar to many of you tuning in, right? I know that this is something that sounds so familiar. We hear this so many times. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a scenario that also applies to guys as well, because a guy can lose his virginity to a girl he thinks he loves and then she just walks out of his life forever. This type of scenario is definitely not easy for anyone to deal with. And excuse me, this also can lead to depression, this type of scenario. Why would you want to risk having sex with someone that can easily walk away from you and move on to someone else? Now, I want you guys to keep this in mind. If someone views you as being good enough to have sex with, they should be able to view you as that same person that they want to marry one day. They should be willing to respect your feelings and wait if they truly love you and care about you. They will have no problem with this. Don't just settle. Don't just settle, guys. Wait for the right person that God has in store for you. Do not just settle for just any old person. You deserve so much better than that. I don't care what anyone says. Don't listen to anybody that tells you anything less. Number 5, it builds trust. Now, this one is kind of piggybacking off of reason number 4 that I just shared. Abstaining from sex shows that you're able to control your sexual desires. It shows that you value your significant other's feelings and that you are fully committed to only them. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on in my throat. And it shows that you're selfless. Now, trust is something that definitely takes a lot of time and dedication. It's not something that can be achieved overnight. It takes a lot of work. Trust is one of the most important things in a relationship. Number 6, it allows the friendship in your relationship to grow. Now, we all know that in order to begin a romantic relationship with someone, you first have to develop a friendship first, right? Like I mentioned before, conversations help to make the relationship strong. And in addition to that, you're able to learn about each other's flaws, your strengths, your differences, and how to best handle those differences. If you bring sex into the mix, then guess what? It's going to get in the way of you forming that relationship with your significant other. I'm sure you guys are aware of husbands and wives addressing each other as their best friend. Without the friendship, your relationship is just based off of sexual passion. Some people engage in that friends with benefits type of relationship, but this does way more harm than good, whether you believe it or not. And yeah, that pretty much brings me to the end of my list, all those 6 reasons. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that this list was helpful to someone out there. If it was, definitely let me know. And if you have additional reasons of why someone should abstain from having sex before marriage, then definitely leave it down in the comments down below. I welcome it, and I'm pretty sure that those who are tuning in right now would greatly appreciate those who really need it. Feel free to leave comments down below. And as always, please refrain from profane language, even if it's an abbreviation. And please be respectful. And if you happen to have any suggestions like Virtue Within shared, then feel free to leave those down below if you have a suggestion or you have a request that you would like for me to do. Then leave that down in the comments and I will get back to you when I can. Don't be shy about it. I welcome it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. God bless you guys. Bye.